Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Level 4 Lawn. Today we're going to be discussing timing of the pre-emergent. Look, if you've looked online, probably a ton of people are saying, put it down in the spring, but what does that mean? When is spring? Well, I'm going to show you exactly for your area. We're going to look up your zip code, we're going to type in some stuff, we're going to figure out what the 5-year, 10-year, and even last year's average was, and we're going to get the perfect time for you to apply the pre-emergent for your yard, your specific yard. No more spring, no more roughly this time. I'm going to give you a date range, 2 weeks to figure it out. So come on, let's figure out when to put that product down. This is Level 4 Lawn. All right, as mentioned, we're going to talk today about timing, but something I want to clarify with a lot of people is the product. It's called pre-emergent. What does that mean? Pre meaning before and emergent meaning sprout. This product is put down before seeds sprout. If it was after seed sprout, that would be a post-emergent. And a lot of people will ask, hey, I have weeds in my yard. Can I put this down to take care of them? No, you can't. A post-emergent is what you need. That's different, and we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the pre-emergent and the timing. So simply, we want to get it down before the weeds emerge. How do I know when that is? Come on, let's go jump on the computer.
All right, so probably if you've looked into this at all, you've heard people say you need to put your product down in the spring. The problem with that statement is, what is spring? I mean, if you live in North Carolina, your spring is going to be pretty early, possibly in February. Whereas if you live in, say, Green Bay, well, it may be May before you have spring. So we're going to look at how to figure out the temperature for your exact area. Check this out. Go to greencastonline.com. I type it in a search bar. It goes right here. So we're going to go ahead and click this link here. I'm going to go up here to Monitoring Tools. And then down here in this section, I got Maps and Models. I'm going to go to the Soil Temperature Map. Now, this will pull up roughly where you are. I've been playing with this a little bit, so you can see I've already got Wisconsin pulled up. So let's go ahead and check soil temperatures for Wisconsin. And right now I can see that they're only at about 32 to 34 degrees. Way too early for pre-emergent for them. But we're in March of 2026. So this kind of doesn't work. I'm looking for the 50-degree mark. Why? Well, let's check this out. Crabgrass begins to germinate when soil temperatures consistently reach a temperature of about 55 to 65 degrees. Now, I highlighted consistently. Why? Because if you get one day where you get a really warm spring, soil temperature hits 55, don't freak out. It doesn't mean that they're going to germinate. And this happens a lot. We get heat waves. You'll get 3-4 days of warm temperatures. Soil temperatures will spike up and then they'll go back down. We need consistent, so roughly 5 days of 55-degree temperatures before they're going to germinate. Now notice too, the majority of the germination is around 70 to 73, but 55 to 65 is when it starts. So that's when we want our product down. Prior to this, because we want to catch those early seeds, and maybe we'll do a second application later to catch the later ones. So go back here. We're looking at Wisconsin. The highest temperature I can see is 32. There's a little spike there we can see. So let's go ahead and click on this. And we're going to look in the previous year. So let's go to 2025. And I know February and March is too cold. So let's just go to April. And I'm going to select April 1st through May 31st, all right, of 2025. And this will give me last year's data. And we're going to go ahead and apply that and take a look at what we got for a graph. Now if I come down here at the bottom and I touch just the blue, this is the 2025 average. So these are temperatures last year and we can see how it jumped around. The purple one gives me a 5-year average and then the green one is a 10-year average. And these are all super helpful when I'm trying to figure out data of when is the optimal date range. So I'm going to come over here to 50. I'm going to slide across. You can see it's giving me temps as I go. And right here I can see in 2025 we hit 55. The average is about 49 or 47, and then temperatures came back down, came down to 50. So that spike right there probably did not get any germination of seeds. Remember, it's only one day we were at 55 and it came back down. But if I move over here, just a few days later, I can see the average is about 50 degrees on May 4th. Hey, check it out. May the 4th be with you. So roughly May 4th, if you're in this area of Wisconsin, is about when you're going to hit a 50-degree average. Now, again, we said they're going to germinate at about 5 days of 55. So let's look. There's here we hit 53. Here's 57, 55. Right about here it's holding. So this is first day, second, third, fourth, fifth. So I would say around the 14th is when we would start to see the seeds legitimately germinate based solely on soil temperature. But I want the product down here at the 50-degree mark. Why? Well, there's a huge factor that I need, and that's Mother Nature to help me. Most of you are probably going to put down a granule version of the pre-emergent. How does the granule get in the ground? I need rain, and that's important. If I put the product down right here, and Mother Nature says, hey, no rain, it doesn't get in the ground. If I put the product down here and I get too much rain, well, I get the opposite effect. It gets washed out. So I'm going to target around 50 degrees as my rough time frame. So again, in Wisconsin, roughly May the 4th. Let's check out some other areas. Let's go 2763. Well, we'll look at Raleigh, North Carolina. And again, it's going to pull the map up and we can see currently, now look, they've already got soil temperatures currently up above. So here we are. Oh, this is last year's data, sorry. So in April, they are far past it. So let's go to February of 25. We'll say February 1st through March 31st. We'll get some historical data here, pull it up. And again, here's my 50-degree mark. Ooh, and you can see in 2025, we were hovering right at that 50-degree mark. Now my 5-year average, right around, looks like right in this area right here. Around the end of February is when we're going to cross and stay above that 50-degree mark. And it looks like we're going to hold our 5-day average right about here, the first week of March. So in Raleigh, North Carolina, you really want to get your product down back here, roughly the end of February, because middle of March is when those seeds are going to start to germinate. So again, I'm looking at historical data and I can see what was going on. And I picked out the best time frame. Let's go ahead and do one more. We'll pick Vermont. And if I remember right, yeah, this one is way up north there. This is probably going to be similar to Green Bay, and it's already got the temperatures in there. I can see I'm not crossing the 50-degree mark yet. So let's look at April 1st through May 31st with them. Go ahead and apply that. And there's my 50-degree line, and it looks like we are consistently hitting 50 degrees, right about the same as Green Bay. So roughly the beginning of May, and we can see they're in their 5-day average, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly here, about the middle of it. So how does this work for you? Well, just go up here, go ahead and type in your address or just type in your zip code and go along and do exactly what I did. You can use the historical piece, or you might be able to use it currently. But again, remember, it's got to be down before 55 degrees so that we can get the product in the ground and ready to go. But actually, there's a little bit more we need to talk about than just temperature. Let's make it more specific to your yard.
All right, as mentioned when we were talking indoors, another factor we got to look at is the amount of sunlight. So this is my front yard. And as you can see, it's a nice sunny day out. But my front yard gets a lot of sun. How much? Well, let's say we have an average 8-hour day of sun. Somehow my yard will get like 10 hours. Okay, I'm kidding. It doesn't actually get 10 hours. But the point I'm trying to make here is more sunlight means the soil temperature comes up quicker. So even though you found that 2-week window, that may not be accurate for your specific yard. So if you've got a sunny front yard or backyard or a sunny area, plan on backing up your timeline just a little bit. But I've actually got a way that's more accurate for you to go ahead and figure out your yard temperature. All right, so what is the most accurate way to get the temperature of your soil? Well, the same way you would get the temperature of your body if you needed to, with one of these. Okay, this is a meat probe. I probably wouldn't stick this in my mouth, but it's the same idea. If we take a meat probe, we can figure out the soil temperature. And in terms of cost, these things are like 15 bucks. You can get them at any grocery store, online, or wherever. 15 bucks isn't that expensive to get the perfect soil temperature. But here, we got to make sure we do this right. Seeds are not going to go that deep in the ground. I mean, think about it. A seed isn't going to just magically start digging over the wintertime and get its way down there. It's probably only going to sit in maybe the top ½ inch to 1 inch layer of soil. And if I look at my probe, there's usually a real skinny piece right here. That's about 1 inch long. That's the only depth I really want to go. All we're going to do is take this guy, stick it in the ground, and we're going to get a temperature. Right now, I can see my temperature is about 57. Good news is I got my product down a while ago, so I'm good to go. Just for curiosity, let's push it a little bit deeper in the ground. And I can see temperature is dropping. We're now down to about 56. If we go all the way down, yeah, we get even lower. So depth is important with this. Remember, only about 1 inch in the ground. Also, don't take a soil temperature of one spot and go with it. Move around the yard. Go 4, 5, 6 different spots. You're looking for that magic number of 50. And if you get it right and you get the product down right, you're going to have an awesome looking yard. So we've talked about how you can go online and find temperature of the soil, or even how you can just take a probe and find temperature of the soil. But did you know Mother Nature will actually tell you when it's time? See this behind me? This is a forsythia bush. Big bright yellow flowers on it. And these tend to bloom right around a soil temperature of roughly 50 to 55 degrees. Now this guy's in quite a bit of bloom, but when the flowers just start to come out, that is your warning. Time to get pre-emergent down. Hey, thanks Mother Nature. So forsythia is a really good indicator from Mother Nature, but she actually gives us more than one. You want to know another one that's pretty common? Daffodils. Yeah, that's right. Daffodils are typically yellow, or they can also be white, and they're going to emerge around 50 to 55 degrees. Now, these particular daffodils here, I wouldn't count these. These are in a raised bed. Raised beds are traditionally a little bit warmer than what your ground temp is going to be. But if you have daffodils that are planted at grass or ground level, they're a great indicator of when it is time to put down your pre-emergent. All right, so there you have it. We went over how to pick the perfect time for your front yard. Check out Greencast, figure out that 2-week window. Make sure we add in, do we have sunlight or shade? And if you want to, go ahead and get a probe. Measure the ground temperature. But now you know how to pick the perfect time for you to put down your product. And remember, real quick, we want to get it down at about 50 degrees, and we need some rain in the forecast. If there's too much rain, hold off. That question always comes up. Should I wait until that exact moment or go a little early? In my experience, you are always better being a little bit early. Look at it this way. If you're a little early, then the product's already in the ground. If you're a little late, the weeds have already started. Also, I don't discuss the products in this video, but most products are going to have a life in the ground of about 6 weeks to maybe upwards of 4 months. So putting it down a few days or even a week early, is it that big of a worry? I don't think so. Hey, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, check out, I'll have more videos I'm going to post. But till I see you next time, this has been a Level 4 Lawn production.